Welcome back to VC Theory. Let's ignore the predictions that we have for the Sun City Classic and let's just move on to the Red Bull home ground play-in predictions. All right, so for the first group we got is Group A, which is BLX Corp, Clan of the Land, and Bonk. What are your predictions for this group?
I mean, the group is like looks like a middle of the pack group. Everybody's from EU, and then I guess the UK. I think that with the little experience I've watched, I've seen a couple of Bonk games. They didn't look too good. But for BLX Corp, um, they're the team that plays the most most tournaments, and Clan of Land is just like a pug team, fully pug team. They got Molsey, so I guess they got experience there. Probably IGL League, maybe not, but I'm just gonna go with the fact that BLX plays more, and so they're gonna win. So I'll take BLX as the only team coming out, obviously from Group A, and then I'll have Clan of Land second and Bonk third. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna have to swap up your prediction just a little bit. I'll keep Bonk at third, but I'm gonna have Clan of the Land coming out of Group A. I feel like since they were so dominant in their Spanish qualifiers, I feel as though they're gonna be dominant here and they're gonna be dominant in their group. I think BLX Corp, even though they played the most amount of games, I'm not too sold on them and them being the best team out of this group. So I'm gonna have to take Clan of the Land coming out of Group A.
All right, so let's move on to the Group B. Group B is a international group. We
Mhm.
got Team Rad from Egypt, we got Fennel from Japan, and we got Cloud9 from the United States. So, what are your thoughts and preds on that?
I was high on the Cloud9 when we started the Sun City Classic, but I'm gonna have to put them a lower position now. So I'm gonna have Team Rad being the weakest team in Group B, and then I'll put Cloud9 at number two, and I'm gonna have Fennel coming out as number one for Group B. I think Fennel did pretty well in their tier two, and I think they're definitely one of the better teams here for the play-in. And because of the way Cloud9 looked at Sun City, I don't want to rate them too high. I want to keep them as mid as possible because that's just the way they looked. So I'm gonna have it be Fennel, Cloud9, and then Team Rad. What do you think?
I mean, I'm gonna just have to agree with you on the Team Rad pick on third place. I think that the region as a whole is just weaker region, and they're like one of the only teams that are actually assigned team in the region. So they'll have like easy routes, obviously qualifying through the Egyptian qualifier here. Not to say that like it's a bad region, but they're just weaker than obviously Japan, which has a huge scene, huge tier two scene. And as you said, Fennel made it to I think second place in the VCL qualifier,
Yeah.
lost to the middle order. And I think although we were coping with the hype of Cloud9, I'm just gonna have to play Cloud9 blow for blow against both of these teams. So I'm just gonna have to do it. I can't really place them lower than Fennel, although I would say maybe Fennel is probably more sound. They have more reps. They have everything going for them. I'm just gonna have to hope that Zelsis calls better by like a marginal percentage, and then that the team shoots alongside Oxy and they can finally win rounds. So my order would be Cloud9 first, Fennel second, and Team Rad as third place.
All right, now coming out of Group C, we have Qbert Academy and Flow Tim Cheese. What a name! So,
Yeah, Floatim Cheese.
what do you
That's
have
a
coming out of Group
good
C?
name. I mean, honestly, it's the team. It's the group that has two teams, and I think it's kind of funny that that's the group that has two teams because we got another Puggy team
Mm-hmm.
who we literally don't know anything about them. They just signed up for the Chilean qualifier, won two games, and this they just got out of there. There's not. It's not a big again, not a big like league. Not a lot of teams playing there,
Yeah.
similar to like Team Rad in Egypt. So I'm just gonna have to rate them lower. I don't know anything about them. They have a good team name. I like the name. But I'm just gonna have to say Kubert had a decent showing in the Sun City Classic, better than probably a lot of people's expectations. I would say Xander played really good there on Smokes, and I think it's just they have to beat them back to back. It just doesn't really make sense if they somehow choke this off. So I'm just gonna have Kubert in the first seed, and then Flo Timchi's getting knocked out. What
Yeah,
about you?
yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I just feel like Qbert has played enough tier one teams to have enough experience to be in a situation like this where I feel like they'll just beat Flow Tim Cheese even though they're a puggy team. So I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I think Qbert just, wins out of this group and I think it's no brainer.
And then I think we have another pretty easy group. We got Group D. We got BXL Zoo, Belgium team, who actually beat BLX Corp in the Belgium qualifier, but then they played in the Netherlands qualifier and won that one. So they're the number one seed technically coming out of Belgium. Then we got Team Frankfurt. Germany qualifier. I don't know anything about them really. Not really sure how big the German scene is. I'm sure there's some good players, but I think again it's just a simple team because we got Envy here, so it
Mm.
doesn't really matter who is becoming second and third because Envy's coming out of the group no matter what. I'm just if I were to just take a shot in the dark, obviously we're taking Envy here as the number one seed, and then I just assume that since we have two Belgium teams in this play-in stage, that the Belgium scene is better. So I'm just going to take BXL Zoo over Team Frankfurt here. What about you?
I'm gonna have to agree with you. Really, I think Envy is the best team here in this play-in. So I think Envy comes out of their group easily. And then I have to agree with you with the BXL Zoo coming in second and the Frankfurt last, just because I'm rating some of these more puggy teams higher because I feel as though they're really good at what they do and they just pugged it out and they made it to an event like this. And I feel like there's a reason behind it. The only reason why I'm not taking Flo Tim Cheese over Cubert is because we already know what Cubert is like. So for Group D, I'm gonna have Envy. I'm gonna have BXL Zoo coming second, and then Frankfurt team coming in third.
All right, so let's move on to the knockout stage. So obviously we can't predict exactly what happens. So if we get something
Mm-hmm.
wrong, it won't happen. But again, I think they've made it pretty easy, at
Yeah.
least for Group C and D. That one, if you assume Cubert makes it out, it's going to be against Envy, or let's
Mm-hmm.
say it's going to be Flo Tim Cheese even against Envy. That matchup there is pretty simple. I'm gonna just have to take Envy, and if I had to give you a exact matchup, I'm taking them 2-0 if it's a best of three, or if it's just a one game, I'm just taking them on 1-0 as well. So I think that one's really easy. I'm assuming you're not gonna take any different point there. You're gonna just have Envy winning that side and qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to hear your thoughts on the potential matchup on whether it is Clan of Land or BLX Corp making it, or even Bonk, I guess, against realistically Fennel and Cloud9. What's happening in that first semifinal matchup?
So because I thought Clan Land was gonna come out of Group A, I'm gonna have them be in that position, and then for Group B, I had Fennel, and I think this would be a really good matchup. So I actually think it's gonna go to. I'm gonna go Clan Land 2-1 beating Fennel. And then my
Okay.
entire bottom group is the exact same as yours. So, what do you think is gonna happen in Group A
Yeah,
B?
that one makes sense. I mean, I don't know. It depends if they're running ones. I would say if they're running ones, meaning that it's just the best of one, I would definitely give it to Clan of Land. If
Mm,
I had them coming out, like let's say if I had that, but in my case, if it ends up being what I'm predicting, it's very simple. If it's BLX Corp coming out against Cloud9, or even against Fennel, I would say I just pick them. So
yeah.
if we're going off of my prediction, it would be Cloud9 qualifying. If Cloud9 misses, then Fennel qualifies. But it really depends on who, like whether it's a best of one or a best of three. I think the more maps you give opportunity, that's where the set teams, unless you're Envy, because Envy doesn't matter, they're gonna win regardless.
Mm.
But the set teams will have a better chance to like learn the other team's playstyle and finally react. But if it's best of ones, that's like the problem with the style like this is that usually the puggy teams can shine in the best of ones. But if I had to choose, it's just going to be Cloud9 makes it in the qualifier as well.
So those are our predictions for the Rebel Homeground playing stage. Let us know what you think of our predictions. Do you think there'll be any upsets? Let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video.